In today's video, we're going to be looking at some of the locomotives I've been building using the 10219 Maersk set as an inspiration. It's easily my favorite 6-watt official LEGO locomotive, and it doesn't use any crazy expensive or rare parts, if you don't mind substituting for the black 28 length train base. To start, we'll take a look at the decals I picked up from various sources before looking at the complete builds. I also wanted to mention a new update Ampersand has made to the PyBricks script we use for controlling our LEGO trains. Multi-hub operation, or as I've been calling it, the distributed power update. It allows for a lead locomotive to send commands to other units wirelessly in order to pull a train together, just like how distributed power works in real trains. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get started. Okay, so we've got 4 locomotives built up here. We have the BNSF, the Union Pacific, and 2 of the Conrail builds. And they are currently missing the railings that go along the side and all of the decals. I do have all the stuff for the railing here. So for the decals, the BNSF I ordered from BrickTrainDepot.com, which actually, even when it came here, it came from OK Brickworks. So that's what those look like. We'll see how they look on there. I did make sure to get the ones that had the yellow outline to get a little more going on with it. These are from TrainedBricks. So we've got 2 sheets for the Conrail here and 2 different numbers for the 2 locomotives. And then we've got these guys here. And this does kind of line up with the stripes there. So we'll see how that works out. Then, of course, we have the Union Pacific here. I think those look pretty good. I'm not sure how they're going to do on like the front sections here. If I need to cut them, I did read that somewhere that I might have to basically cut them and put half here, half there. But that's why I'm going to do all of this off camera. I've never really done decals before. I've only done just kind of simple stickers. So we'll see how it all goes. And I'll try to get a few clips of putting them on as I go. Okay, well, here's the completed models. I'm really happy with the way they all turned out. Of course, I did not get footage of putting the decals on. That was a learning experience for me, and I don't want to record long, rambling, troubleshooting process. You know, maybe if I do these in the future, I can try to get some clips. And these were different types of decals. The Union Pacific and Conrail, I used soap and water and just kind of, oh, there goes that. Placed them where they needed to go, and then just kind of positioned them in. And I think all these had to be kind of cut to where they're going to go. You can probably see maybe the glare, like the little clear layer that goes with these. And then on the front here, this one I had to cut in order to get it to make that angle up front here. That was kind of a trick, and I know I did not do that perfectly. But, when it's like rolling around a layout, are you really going to notice it? I'm not sure. We can see on the Conrail, this was a lot easier because there's no printing on the, the apex, whatever you want to call that, where it's actually angled. It just wrapped right around and was just fine. Has stayed on there very well. You've got the number plates up top here. I think they look good. You've got, I like how the stripes feed right into the, let's pull this down, the stripes from the plates that are built through here. And of course, you got Conrail here. Same thing here, Conrail in the back and the number plates. Those I was very happy with. Again, those are from TrainedBricks. And if you're a Eurobricks user, you've probably seen he's on there, and his username is Zephyr something another. I'm at least going to link, I'm not even sure what all links there's going to be, but these 2 Conrail builds were kind of based on his instructions. You can see we've got studs all the way along the bottom here, which is different from how I've built all the others. I used the 2x3 modified tile kind of flag pieces. But these were kind of the first ones I started working on, and followed his instructions somewhat, but definitely made some changes, especially along like the roof and everything there. And those instructions are free, so I'll be sure to link to those. And then you have the decals for the BNSF. And I love the yellow outline here. I think that works really well. This one, I don't think it's very straight. I think it needs to go that way a little bit. I think I'm probably going to build a second one of these. Maybe I can get a little bit straighter on that one. There's nothing really on the back. There was only a few decals here. The number plates, I thought they were really tiny white numbers, but I did realize I had missed it in the package. One of these numbers for each number, because there was two different numbers, because it was a set of 2 locomotives worth of decals. But I did reach out, and they did ship me one of each. So I've got the same number on both sides, and then if I build another one, it will have the same black numbers here for the road number. And then you've got the BNSF on the front. And you can see it's a little bit oversized. Even this is a 6 wide set of decals, but maybe they had the wide nose, wide cab, whatever. So that made more sense for it. But they actually wrap around very good. So I was happy about that. It's fine, and they're not peeling up or doing anything like that. Because these were different from the other decals. You really don't need to use soap and water. I think you kind of can to get things positioned better. Actually, I think a few of these I did use soap and water, but you basically, I did have to cut them out, and you put the whole thing on, and then it has a clear layer that you just pull up, and then you've got your decals there. So that worked really well. I like how they look very high res. They look really good. I wasn't sure how they were going to look just looking at the decal sheets. And we can kind of go through each one. They're definitely not perfect. I wanted some red here, so that's why I've got this red stripe down here. Really with this one and the BNSF, I probably would have used different colors for the train base if it wasn't so expensive. I could have used a red base for this one. I could have used a yellow base for this one. But to save some money, I'm just using this kind of red stripe. And I think that's good enough. It's so much cheaper. So that's what I ended up going with. With the BNSF, I really would have liked to have a yellow stripe along the top here and maybe on the bottom there. But I couldn't really figure out a way to build it like that. I could do some pinstripe kind of stickers or something. But I'm really not a perfectionist. I know these are not 100% detailed to specific locomotives and all of that. They're good enough for me, and I like these a lot better than just kind of the stock locomotives that come with Lego sets. And I've actually kind of decommissioned a couple and pulled the electronics from them. As of now, the Union Pacific and the BNSF are motorized. And again, I kind of showed in the intro there, I'm using what I'm calling the distributed power PyBricks update. I think it's so cool. So I can link to the GitHub, and then the best place to go really is to join our Discord, because like that project's kind of in progress right now. So there'll probably be some changes over time. There was a few things he hadn't tested yet, that kind of thing. But in my experience, it works very well. You basically have one locomotive as your leader, and all the others will be followers. So as you increase the speed, you can increase the speed on those. If you want them to run back to back, it's just a very simple change in the program to reverse the motors. And of course, since we're using PyBricks, you can do dual motors here and reverse one of the motors in software, so you don't have to do any kind of electrical modification or anything like that. One other thing I'll mention is you'll notice these are built differently. So these have the 6x16. It's kind of a modified tile with studs around it. Similar to how they're built on the Maersk locomotive, except in that case, it's a 6x12 and a 4x6 kind of put together. And I found this design, actually I saw it on eBay for the first time. They actually sell complete built locomotives similar to this. They're all a little bit different, maybe a little bit better. And I do think they brick build their train bases instead of using the ones like I am. But this design for this was directly inspired from them. Just a bunch of 2x4 tiles, and then it's just kind of built. I did try to keep it where if you look at it from the different angles. It'll look right. This is covered up by this. You can see there, I did use like a 1x4 plate there to make sure all the lines kind of go around right. And it does widen it a little bit, so maybe this doesn't look quite as clean as something like that. But again, I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. So because these are so derivative of other people's work, I'm not really gonna, I don't think I'm gonna release studio files or instructions to build like these. Again, these you can find instructions to build, and they will be linked, except like I said, the roof was different. There are a few changes, but it's not that much. So I'm really excited for the future. I'm probably going to build a few others, maybe a Norfolk Southern, whatever I can find decals for. I'll at least try to mock one up in studio and see if I like it. But definitely keep an eye out for these in videos. It'll be really great to be able to use 2 or more locomotives together to pull really long trains. The complete Maersk train that I built was definitely pushing the limits of what a single locomotive, even with dual motors, could pull. So now I have 2 of the Maersk locomotives tied together, and that really helps a lot. So again, to stay up to date with everything, the best thing to do is join the Discord. We're in there all the time. We're up to a few hundred members, but it's generally pretty active and lively and helpful. And I also want to thank the channel members for help keep the lights on here. If that's something you're interested in, it's only a couple bucks a month, and you can get access to videos early and be one of the first to comment and all that. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.